Hello everyone and welcome back to Nate the Hoof Guy. Today's video, well, we're going to do something a little bit different. Now, a lot of my videos you're used to seeing stuff like this, or maybe like this, or even like this. But that is not the normal day for a hoof trimmer, and it's certainly not a normal day for me. So that's what we're going to cover today, what I do on a typical day, and that is just rebalancing feet like this. Now, this first foot is a typical growth pattern for a foot. We're going to see less wear toward the inner parts of a claw on both of these claws. So that's the area, or that's the hoof material that I need to remove to get this foot to rebalance up. Now, each foot's going to be a little bit different, but this is a common one. A lot of times the pressure is going to be distributed toward the heel area, so I'm not going to take a lot off the heel, and it's going to be more toward that outside wall, which means there's going to be less wear toward the inner parts of the foot. In order to rebalance that, that's the area I need to remove. Another common growth pattern is the toes will elongate. Both toes will elongate in a similar fashion. So what happens as they grow? They get longer, but that puts more pressure toward the heel of the foot. In turn, there is more wear then at the heel of the foot, meaning less hoof material there. So you're going to notice when I trim this foot that I'm taking most of it off from about 2/3 of the way up the foot toward the toe. That's going to reposition that foot. It's going to correct that angle and get it closer to that ideal foot angle that we're looking for in that 50-degree range. And the way I judge these angles is simply by the hoof material on the bottom of the foot, on the sole. You can see, if you look close, you'll see some like white flaky looking material. That is known as pith, P-I-T-H. That's gives us a general guide as far as the sole thickness. If I have pith still visible, I know that sole is plenty thick. I'm just going to balance this foot up between the two claws. I want to try to get those sole thicknesses even between those two claws. That's going to give me the proper balance for that cow. This pretty common trim. I do a lot of trims just like this. You can see that balance there. We got that claw back in. Now let's move on to another foot, and you can see how this one is out of whack a little bit. We got that medial claw, that inside claw is much thicker in that toe area. In turn, I'm going to need to remove more thickness from that toe area on this trim. That's what I'm going to do right now. First, I'm going to clean up these jagged edges with my hoof knife. Just allows a better, cleaner job when I pull that grinder out. Now, one of the common mistakes that can be made when evaluating a foot like this is seeing that medial claw being a little bit thicker in that toe area and thinking we need to remove horn from that entire claw. And that is not the case. You'll notice here, those heels don't need to be adjusted at all. They're already pretty much balanced. You're going to notice on this trim, I'm not going to remove any horn from the heel area of this foot. It's because that overgrowth, that area of less wear, is toward the toe of this particular claw, that medial claw. So that's where I'm going to remove a little bit more material to get this foot into balance. I'm also going to remove a little bit of horn like I did on that last foot, about 2/3 of the way from that top of that claw down, and that's going to improve that angle. The reason we lose foot angle over time is because there's more wear toward the heel. That's going to create a shallower angle over time. That growth is going to be toward the toe, so we're going to take some more from the toe, and that's going to put a better angle on that foot. Now, I don't do a lot of modeling on my feet, but this one I'm going to model a little bit because she's obviously shown a tendency to put on more hoof toward that toe on that medial claw already. You can see here we've got that claw balanced up. If we go back, this is what it looked like before. You can see that adjustment that we've made with this particular foot. Now, another question I get is, do you trim all 4 feet when you trim these cows? And the answer is yes. We always trim all 4 feet because just because a foot doesn't particularly look long or out of balance when you're looking at it from the top, it can look that way when you pick that foot up. So we're always checking all 4 feet. As we have that cow in the chute anyway, we want to make sure everything is top notch. The entire purpose of a maintenance trim is to keep that foot balanced, to prevent problems like this from occurring. When a foot is unbalanced, that means there's going to be pressure exerted in areas where we don't want it to be. And that is going to cause problems like this. So we have to keep that foot balanced. That's going to reduce the chances that anything like this is going to happen, and overall, a lower lameness rate in the herds that we trim on. And while it is rewarding to help a cow like this get back on her feet, it's even more rewarding letting cows out of the chute who have never experienced lameness in their lives. And that's what we try to do on every farm, on every day. Keep that lane full of cows, keep those cows moving through the chute, get those feet trimmed up and balanced properly, keep those problems to a minimum. And that way, we don't have to fix problems. Now, you guys might have noticed my voice doesn't sound right today, and that's kind of why our uploads have been behind. It's because I've had some sickness to deal with, but I'm getting better. So, expect more videos coming soon. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you all on the next one.